Well, hello. This is Mike from Music City. Welcome to my latest installment of what I call Great Forgotten Records. As I always say, I ain't forgotten them. Maybe you haven't either, but maybe you don't know about them, and it's just a great opportunity for me to introduce to you records that you may not know about, and records that I really, really love. Today, we've got a local flavor again to this series, and we're going to look at the 2001 release from a band called Swan, and it's their release called June. And man, I cannot believe that it was 20 years ago that this record came out. And you know, I planned to do this one at some point in time, and now I'm really excited about it because for fans of the band, I hope you know this already. And if you don't know about it, they're going to be doing a 20th anniversary live stream on June 3rd to celebrate the release of this fantastic record. And you can find details about it at the Swan Dive Facebook page. Now, let me tell you a little bit about Swan Dive. It's a duo. You can call them melodic pop if you want to. They're just a great, great pop band. The thing about Swan Dive is that they really were hugely successful, and I mean hugely, and I'm underestimating, in Japan and Korea, and even after they sort of stopped being a very active band, they still went back and played in Japan and Korea. Now, and who are these two people? I'm going to make a disclaimer that I really consider both of these people to be just friends. I've gotten to know them through the love of the band, and just two wonderful people, Bill DeMaine and Molly Felder. You may have heard those names before. Bill is a very noted music journalist, writes for Mojo, has written a Grammy-nominated book of interviews. He does a tour in Nashville called Walking Nashville, that if you love country music, you need to come to Nashville once he starts his tour again post-COVID. And Molly is just the singer with a beautiful, beautiful voice. She's done a lot of background vocals, commercials, and things like that. One of my favorite Molly stories is how she got a call from Don Henley from the Eagles after he heard her record, wanted her to sing background vocals for him, which I believe she did. But again, this is their fourth record, and you know, I personally always thought it was their best. And you know, back in 2001, I remember going to their record release show at the Basement. I believe they did two shows in one night, and I went to both of them, and they were amazing. And one of the great things about Swan Dive is, you know, well, let me introduce to how you know, there's sort of their musical connections are just fantastic. This is produced by Brad Jones, the great producer who works out of a studio in Nashville called Alex the Great. And Brad's just done a lot of great stuff, and you need to check out just his resume to find a lot of great music. But they've always had a great band, and when they played live, and those people you find on the record, guitarist Pat Buchanan. On drums is Mickey Grimm, Molly's husband, who was also in the band Over the Rhine. Brad played bass, and then Jim Hoke, multi-instrumentalist, who, you know, has played from everybody you could ever imagine. I think he's even played with Paul McCartney, you know, sort of on, you know, horns and things like that. Just really added a great touch to the record. I'm getting my screen back. We're gonna listen in a little bit. What else do I want to say about Swan Dive? One of the other cool things is you know, Bill is the main songwriter, but just like a lot of the, you know, people in Nashville, is really into the co-write scene. And you know, it's just the way most songs get written in this town, and he's got some really great co-writers on this. There's a song here with Marshall Crenshaw that I'm sure most of you know about, and I've always loved it. Marshall, the song's called Truly Madly Deeply. It's one I'm going to play a little bit of for you. On one of his live records, Marshall introduces the song as, "Here's a song I wrote with a Japanese pop star named Bill." I thought that was great, you know, referring to Bill's success in Japan. There's also a couple of songs written with Jill Sobule, who I love. A couple written with Boo Hewerdine, and one written with a guy named Gary Clark, you may know as a Scottish musician in the band Danny Wilson. So that's that. You know, just a great assortment of people that Bill has worked with. Now, this was the original release of the record, and it's a Japanese CD, and you can see I got Bill and Molly to sign it at the record release. It came out a little bit later in the UK, and there was a little track switch on this. There was a song on here called Puzzle Ring that got dropped, and what got added was a song called Automatically Sunshine, which is a great song. I'm glad we got them both. And then later on, it got released in the US on Compass Records, and this is the version you'll see if you go to Spotify, where we're going to look in a minute. And it's got the 12 tracks. It's got Sunshine and not Puzzle Ring, but it also has credited what previously was a hidden track of Moon River, you know, the old Andy Williams hit, which Molly does a beautiful job of. And it's also got 2 remix bonus tracks on here, which is kind of nice to make it have. So here's the Swan Dive set. I'm sure you can still find them, and if you look around. Really was trying to encourage Bill to do a vinyl release for the 20th anniversary. Not in the cards yet, but maybe we'll see that happen. But hey, let's listen, and I'm gonna make you buy this record. Now, I've always loved the opening song, which is this song. It's got a little techno beat to it, which just makes it kind of neat. It's called "Girl on a Wire." Let's give it a listen. And that's Bill on acoustic guitar.
Living on the 13th floor only makes me love you more. Caught in a revolving door.
Molly is certainly one of my favorite vocalists. We'll get you to the chorus here.
Counting every star I know. Not that you're my only hope, but you are, yeah you are. Burning the candle, turning the handle at the speed of sound. Higher and higher, girl on a wire. Don't
I don't know how you could not love that song. Now, let's listen to Truly Madly Deeply, the one that Bill wrote with Marshall Crenshaw, and also, as I mentioned, Marshall does it on his live record.
I watch you cross the street among the midday crowd. You wouldn't hear me if I called your name. So I raved. I like to be downtown. That's where the good times are. And when your eyes find mine, I see that look on your face. Every once in a while, I know something to be nothing else but true. And right here and now, I really love you. Truly, madly, deeply, I do. We catch this.
One of the things about Swan Dive, too, like I mentioned, they were popular in Japan, Korea, were popular, of course, here in Nashville, and they had a little bit of a following in New York City, and that was thanks to the great disc jockey Vince Scelsa, who was a big fan of the band. And here's a song that I always hear Vince used to play on his radio show, and this is a song called One-Sided that Bill wrote with Jill Sobule.
One-sided, misguided, every time I'm
Molly at her sweet and sensitive best.
so blinded, I've decided you're the only one I could ever love. One-sided, I've tried it, for you I'm just a puppet.
Now, Molly didn't do all the singing. She probably did 95% of it, but Bill sang a few. And here's one that Bill sang that I loved. It's a song that he wrote with Boo Hewerdine. You may know Boo. I had him on this series before with the great record he did with Darden Smith. He was in a band called The Bible. And here's Bill channeling Harry Nilsson on a song called Have You Ever Been Loved?
Have you ever been in love, where the love felt like a plane that was flying through the clouds, beyond beyond the speed of sound. You will trust into a fault, suspending disbelief.
Great stuff. And let me close out with one song, might possibly my favorite song on the record. And I'm going to tell you right now, this song is not about a bug, it's about a band. It's called Katydids, and about the great pop band, the Katydids, referring to their lead singer, Susie Hobb.
Susie Hawk said, stepping where the traffic began. There's no way to make it stop.
Makes me want to feature Katydids.
Susie Hawk said, it's too much of everything. So she threw herself on top. She's the girl who was on my list today, and she makes me miss the Katydid. Could it be 10 years slipped away?
Oh, well, God, I can listen to Swan Dive forever. As I mentioned, 3 different versions. I'm sure you can find these around. Don't forget June 3rd, the 20th anniversary live stream of Swan Dive. I know where I'll be. I believe it's 7 o'clock Central Time, but like I said, check on the Facebook page. Hey, thanks for listening. As I mentioned, this is my favorite one to do. Or may not be the one that gets the most views. It's a lot of fun to do, and I hope you've discovered a band that you can check out. Now, please, if you like what I'm doing, hit the like button, share it on your socials, and please, please, please subscribe. Doesn't cost you a cent. I am at 916 when I checked this morning. I want to hit 1,000. That was my goal, and we'll see what happens when we do that. But again, Mike from Music City, thanks for listening.